thought this was supposed. I thought this was supposed to count down. You did 1, 2, 3. That's a count up. Ooh. Do-do-do-do. Do-do. Oh, it's just a loading. Now I see it.
I see it. How you doing?
Hey. Okay, I was thinking about pulling it up. Hold on. Okay. The bend over.
Well, I can hear you.
I mean, hey. How dare ye?
Ah, it's working now. You can hear me now.
Boomer. Boomer.
Boomer.
Yeah, says the man who just turned 28.
Oh, shut up. I need it.
Okay,
Boomer.
so gets you up to speed. Uh, Get you up to speed, Daisy. So we are at Five Nights at Freddy's. So this chapter is going to be called Five Nights at Freddy's Strike, because last episode ended with the animatronics trying to go on a strike. Five Nights at Freddy's Union Icon.
Oh, jeez. So loud. Yes, you're updating me.
Yes. A pizza with a hammer and a pizza wheel on it, crossed. So basically, it's like a communist union sign on a pizza.
Wait, say before that, the screen's not sharing on the YouTube stream.
Oh, do you not see it?
No, I do not see it.
Oh, you don't see it on YouTube. Okay. Oops.
Yeah, I do not see it on YouTube.
Thank you for telling me this.
Yep.
Oh. There it is. We got it.
Let's see. I like how we're having technological issues right now. I feel like Tech Master Techie Daisy is here to rescue you.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. There is a delay. So let's see if it's going to be working now.
Oh, don't worry about the delay. I mean, I could always stop and restart the stream, so I could fix.
Okay, now it works. Now it works. You're good.
Nice. All right.
Okay.
So.
That was some quality content right there.
Yeah.
Pizza. So look at this. Pizza puns and poems don't mix. That's apparently the slogan that our viewers came up with. Get it? Pizza, Freddy's Fazbear, puns, sans, poems, Monica. You okay there, Daisy?
Breaking sand. I'm talking like sand.
Yeah, it sounds like. And Nayeli says, I haven't seen anything with Fandom Island in ages. Well, I actually have the funds to spare to do something like that.
It's okay. I haven't seen it in ages either. I don't remember anything. I'm such a great person. I gotta look it back up later, though. I like the
Yes.
pizza puns and poems don't mix, because pizza puns and poems do not mix.
So, Freddy's Fazbear Pizza, the interior is destroyed and disheveled. The animatronics Chica, Freddy, Bonnie, Foxy, Marionette, Springtrap, Baby, Golden Freddy, and I want to add others too. We should elect a union leader, and then as the brand, Freddy goes like, as the brand ambassador to the public, it's only natural that I become the union ambassador to the corporation. Bonnie says, "Man, you represent the freaking owner. I don't think that someone who is representing the owner should be leading the union." And Bonnie and Freddy stare at each other out angrily. And then Chica goes, guys, we need to put this to a vote instead of fighting amongst each other. That's what our oppressors want us to do, basically. And I know I was not here during the events of the last challenge, but I would like to put forth my candidacy. As always, I come back stronger even if I lose. That's Springtrap. I will represent the Union over and over again until our oppressors give in to our demands, just like the creator of the comic. And then Golden Freddy goes, let's put this into a vote. Okay, so the animatronics and the audience voted, basically. And we decided that Freddy won, but there's an issue. Mr. Nobody, would you do me the honor and read the speech that you wrote?
My fellow animatronics, today we have reached a momentous occasion that we have come together here as a union. I know there has been a lot of rabble rousing about nepotism, about corporate influence. But I am here to say that these claims are utterly and completely false. As your democratically elected leader, I will represent our values, our needs, our terms with steadfastness, strength, and courage. I was so convinced of the people's support of my candidacy that months ago I had started the process of writing terms that I could present to the corporation. I think you will be glad to know that I have been in meetings with a very special leader in the industry. This person has been hailed as a prophet and the savior of animatronic kind. Many of you know his name. He is the cosmic big brain man, also known as Elon Musk.
Yeah, and that's why Freddy Fazbear just erupts into like they start fighting amongst each other. Daisy, what do you think? Daisy, you
Okay.
alive?
Yeah, well, do you not hear me?
Yes, I hear you. What did you think of that of the union speech?
I like it. It's a good union speech. All the animatronics will have a representation.
Well, they thought so, but unfortunately, the cosmic big brain man Elon Musk is gonna interrupt it all. And then Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is okay. So Monica and Sans are watching TV basically, uh, and okay, Daisy, have you played Bioshock at all or heard of it?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Monica and Sans are watching TV. In the latest news, the Big Daddies from Rapture got canceled for using the little sisters as child labor. Huh? I guess the Rapture is getting worse by the day. And then says, I don't have a nose, but do you smell something? Yeah, it smells like pizza and melting exotic butters. I didn't get that meme, by the way. I'm too boomer to get that meme. What are exotic butters? Do you know? Anybody?
No.
I think that was just something they made up to try and trip us up because the chat came up with that.
Yes, they did. I thought we shut down the animatronics and Freddy Fazbear's. What gives? Knocking on the door. Sans and Monica look at each other. What could that be? Sans goes like, maybe it's Papyrus. The door opens, and standing there is Elon Musk. He's holding his phone and talking
dun.
Yes. He's holding his phone and talking gibberish. and holds one finger out to shut Monica and Sans down. Monica whispering to Sans, "He literally knocked on our door. I'm in charge here. How did he come to this island? Did you forget that he was one of our most gracious donors?" Monica, "What donors? We don't need donors." Sans, "A lot of deals happen behind closed doors, Monica." And Sans goes like, "Sans, this is the last straw. I'm going to..." Elon Musk hangs up his phone. "We have a massive event horizon occurrence coming up in the near future." Okay, how would you make Mr. Nobody? Can you attempt Elon Musk's voice?
I've only heard him on Joe Rogan, and I don't know. What is it like? "We have a massive event horizon occurrence coming up in the near future. This island will be in a conundrum you cannot
Monica says, "Is he even human? I don't know. I'm a skeleton, but I think his lizard brain is cooking." And then Elon
fathom."
goes, "Yeah." He took this very, very long pauses. And Monica
He
goes, "Yes."
Yeah, he pauses a lot for random reasons when he's talking, which, to be fair, I do that too. You gotta collect your thoughts.
Lizard brain is cooking.
Yeah,
"This is my island. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, we?" "Well, I and the Illuminati, the Lizard Brain Corporation, the Cabal, the Masonic Lodge, Mark Zuckerberg, and the Bohemian Grove, sponsored by my very own Neuralink, have decided that the breach cannot be ignored." So Monica tries to delete him. It doesn't work because he says something from Cthulhu. It's just some random Cthulhu gibberish. An error message appears. "Oh hell, Elon!" I don't know. And then she's demoted to being a contestant. So yeah, Daisy, how would you review this? What's
I
your...
have no clue what's going on anymore.
I don't think we do either. Do we, Mr. Nobody?
we'll figure it out as we go along. I don't think that it's particularly important that we know exactly what's happening. All we need is a general idea. I mean, look at the showrunners of Lost. They had no idea what was happening, and that turned out well, I guess.
Valid.
The ending was bad though. Anyway, what topic should we start with today? Let's start with the rappers.
The rapper, yeah, you go into that because you know more about it than
Okay,
either
so
of
New
us
York
do.
proposed a law where it will ban law enforcement from using like people's rap lyrics against them in court. Apparently, they actually did that with Takashi 69 to make him snitch on what's it called, the gang members. So New York is just saying, okay, this is ridiculous. We need to stop this. I'm surprised just only New York. Like, why not other states? Why is this not a federal level thing? It's a freedom of speech in my opinion. Case in my opinion.
Part of it probably has to do with where these people live. Like rich people don't usually live in, I don't know, Wisconsin. Uh, Rappers and musicians are going to live usually on the coast because that's where people like them congregate. Rich people with lots of influence that have managed to make it in the music industry tend to flock to each other.
Yeah, I guess I guess so. But at the same time, if they live in rich areas, like why would they take their lyrics at face value? The law enforcement. Where does the law enforcement come in here? That's my question.
Like usually the topic of rap, if you ever pay attention, they do like brag about their own wealth as well as like if they've done illicit things. In a sense, like rap is a way for people to express themselves, but at the same time, if you're just flaunting your own riches and stuff as well as breaking laws, in a way, it does kind of rat you out or exposes you for the things you've done. But same time, it's freedom of speech. You're able to say whatever you want, whenever you want.
In artistic,
But in the case of the
sense.
rap, you don't know if it's a situation like calling fire in a theater. Because, like, if you call fire in a theater, that is a liability, and it's a complete lie that will end up harming people. So
Yes.
it's a very tense thing. Like, oh, they're rapping about this, but is it a way for them to express themselves? Or is this a situation of calling fire in a theater? Like, oh, are they actually breaking laws and still doing it, which is like an actual threat? Or if they're just saying it just to be cool?
I mean,
And you really don't know.
There was a Mexican rapper who was rapping about the fact that he's gonna get killed by the
Yeah.
cartel, and he actually got killed, unfortunately.
Yep.
Well, I think that. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I think that if O.J. Simpson can write a book called "If I Did It" and then go into detail about how he quote unquote would have killed his wife and whoever else he killed, if he can write that book and not have any repercussions, you can rap about whatever the goddamn that you want, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But also, that was because of Double Jeopardy, you know?
I know, but it doesn't make it any less fucked up.
Speaking of Jeopardy, have you guys seen the Jeopardy? What's it called? I know we're kind of veering off topic, but like I said, we're reacting during this stream for some videos too, and you guys can suggest some as well because I'm not the only host here. But have you guys seen Jeopardy by any chance?
Jeff Purdy?
Yeah, hold on.
No.
Jeff.
I've never heard of that.
Okay, you guys should see this, and you guys should be able to hear this too.
It's always
Thank you,
Tuesday,
ladies
Jeff.
and gentlemen, and welcome to
Yes.
our show. Good champion in Jeff. Happy to welcome you to our program as well.
Why is it not
Here
full
are the
screen?
categories. First off, Jeff.
Jeff.
And Jeff.
Jeff.
Let's try Jeff for 200.
Jeff.
What is Jeff?
Yes.
What is
Jeff
Jeff?
for 400.
Jeff.
What is Jeff?
That's right.
Jeff for 600.
Jeff.
What is
Jeff.
San Francisco?
No, Jeff.
What is Jeff?
Right again.
Jeff for 1,000.
Jeff.
I'm gonna guess the answer is Bob.
Jeff.
And that would be Jeff.
Okay, what the world was that?
Jeff.
This is a masterpiece.
So
So yeah, double Jeopardy and stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
but at the same time, like Key and Peele, I mean, we could watch that skit too if need be, unless we get.
Yeah. That Key and Peele skill go. That Key and Peele, I can't speak. Key and Peele skit was totally about this, like about how about police trying to bring in a rapper about, making a song about how he literally got away with murder or something.
Yeah, before Daisy, what were you about to say about the topic?
Jeff.
Thank you for that stunning help there. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Jeff. All right, so what else? Let's watch the Key and Peele sketch actually. Rapper confession. All right, this is from 6 years ago, so it might be problematic.
I don't think they use any. Well, they do use rappers' music, so I might use the answer.
Well, if we get. Why is it not stopping? Don't get me copyrighted.
I'm probably gonna get copyright struck for that. We've let it go the entire time.
Daisy,
But
you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Did you see this mess?
Yeah. So, like, that is the court case, basically. It still prevents, the law, it prevents you from, arresting people, but at the same time, it can be used as evidence. Like, I can see, I guess I have to pull up the law to actually see it, but I guess the law might be that you can't arrest a person on the basis of the rap itself, but you should be gathering all the evidence. It shouldn't be like the sole evidence that you're pinning on this person. This should be like the one of those evidences in the court case that is the conclusive proof that they committed the crime. You know, because like
So,
in that
like-
video, or in the skit, it just said like, oh, the rap song itself is like the confession. Like, this is what makes them guilty. But in reality, that's not really how court cases work. You need a compile of evidence and actually you have to prove it. You can't just say like, oh, he did it because of the song he made, or like she did it because of a poem she wrote.
Yeah. Like,
But I could actually see cops at some point doing that exact thing that they did in that video, which is using the rap song. Like, if the rap song admits, like it does in the video, to certain facts, and then you can use that, and then you can investigate and find out that those facts are true. You know, maybe it seems incredibly unwise to admit to a crime in a song, unless you've already paid your time for it, I suppose.
I mean,
Yeah.
they said.
Or like,
Also, Nicole Palacios says, "Stop, haven't seen you in a while." Yes, haven't seen you in a while as well. Hello, Nicole. Anyway. Imagine though, like, I don't know. Imagine though, like, bogus arrest, like, oh, he said. Do you guys remember the meme? They see me roll and they hate him, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine. Oh, he said they see me rolling and they hate him. So you were actually riding dirty.
yeah.
You can-
I mean, I would hope that the justice system wouldn't do something quite that stupid.
But it's our
But
justice system.
I don't have. Unfortunately, I think it would.
So I pulled the bill. It's Senate Bill S-7527. It's limits the admissibility of evidence of a defendant's creative or artistic expression against such defendant in criminal proceedings. So it doesn't specifically have to be rap music, but that's what it's based off of. And the summary is establishes the assumption of the inadmissibility of evidence of a defendant's creative or artistic expression against such defendant in a criminal proceeding, requires the proffering party to affirmatively prove that the evidence is admissible by clear and convincing evidence.
Oh, so it's not completely banning it.
No. Its purpose of this legislation is to protect freedom of speech and artistic expression in New York State. This bill effectuates the enhanced free speech protections provided by the New York State Constitution, ensuring that criminal defendants are tried based upon evidence of criminal conduct, not the provocation nature of their artistic works and taste.
I see. Oh, but that's kind of funny though. Imagine like it's basically the guy was just like accusing him based on the rap.
Yeah.
So you can't just accuse him based on the rap. So he has to go and actually like what's it called, find out if that rap is an actual confession, and if it lines up, then it can be used.
Yeah, pretty much.
So instead of relying on the rap first, you need to rely on the rap second after like analyzing the murder. Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because in the rap world, it sometimes making up crimes and making yourself seem like you're a badass can sell tapes or sell DVDs, whatever this tapes. Am I from the 80s? Jesus Christ! But sell, I guess, iTunes cards. I don't know what they sell anymore.
Fortnite cards.
Sure. So they sell Fortnite cards or something, but yeah. So it's not always the case that somebody saying that they did something in a song is true. Sometimes it's just to convince people to buy your stuff because they think you're more badass.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Nicole's asking anything new in the time you're done. Well, I moved states, and what's it called? I know I went through like 5 or 6 major crises in life, but I'm fine, I guess. Anything new with you guys? Be big. Don't dox yourselves.
Me? Well, I start streaming, so I'm a new face. Not really. I've showed up in Zake's old streams before, but now I'm actually starting to stream on my own. Hello.
Yes. And Mr. Nobody, what's your life update?
I mean, I'm not. For a while there, I was pretty close to hell, but I think I've dug myself pretty far out. Still not entirely out of the hole, but you know, one step
Yes.
at a time.
I mean, we've seen. I mean, we've all been in the hole, all three of us at some point, like more than a regular person should. I'll be honest with you, every single one of us. I would say, like, you've actually seen me when I was in a hole, man. Like, so when I was like an undergrad, I was kind of unhinged, just a little bit unhinged, and what's his face, Mr. Nobody remembers that.
Yeah, I became unhinged later on.
Yeah,
You know,
like
that wasn't fun.
yes, but so there's a time when you like before there's like a weird period like in general. There's like a period of normalcy, the period of like just unhingedness and craziness, and then a post. It's kind of a weird period where you like understand that you're like flaws and your like issues, but you also kind of deal with them to a degree.
Yeah, figuring out how to cope with your problems is one of life's biggest challenges,
It's
honestly.
it's still problematic some days. Daisy, any thoughts on that?
About what?
Just like a period of like so how can I explain this? There's a period of normalcy, there's a period of a crisis, and then there's the weird post crisis period.
Oh, you're talking about now, the pandemic. Oh, okay. My brain literally went back to the 1920s. I was thinking about the.
The
Sorry.
big sad of the 1920s.
1920s, the Great Depression. My gears start turning. I'm like, oh yeah, the 1920s. You want me to talk about the period of normalcy in 1930s, like the Roaring Twenties, how it was like, okay, we don't care about that, but the currently right now. The period of normalcy we would think of would be from like 2000 to like 2020.
Yes.
2020. I was thinking when the pandemic started, and then we're at the period of crisis right now where a lot of lives are getting lost. We're having pretty much a halt in developing of anything. Nothing's really progressing. We're still stuck, and people say, oh, we're after this year, everything's going to get better. But as we all know, historically, things do not get better. Pandemics last for a while. Epidemics last for a while. And we're not going to return that same stage of normalcy back in like 2019, unfortunately. We're still going to be in this weird crisis. And we're not going to know what is considered post-crisis until like 10 or 20 years from now. That's the point is, we can't pinpoint everything until the future. We can't say, oh, we're post-pandemic when we don't know. We still wear masks. Cases are going up, unfortunately, for where I live. And it just sucks. Personally, I've grown a lot as a person. I've also stumbled a lot. I've been in so many personal crises, personal issues. Zake knows about this.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to be normal anymore.
Yeah.
I've never been normal, but that's another story. But it's just this period of crisis. We're not going to define it until like 10, 20 years from now, where a bunch of PhD students or like even undergraduate students are going to be writing their thesis on the pandemic because like they never lived through it, but their parents or grandparents have.
Good point. Yeah, like I don't think we are able to process this, but I think the next generation might be. What do you think, Mr. Nobody?
At this point, I pretty much resigned myself to the fact that this is reality for the foreseeable future, and I just try not to give a shit. Um, uh, there are certain states with some draconian laws about having to present your papers at certain places, but I live in a state that that doesn't require those things, which I'm grateful for.
But
Like
also,
whenever I
but
use
also,
public,
I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this, but yeah, your paper, your state does not require papers, but at the same time, your state kind of requires money more than papers. Honestly,
yes, it
honestly,
does.
I'd rather show my papers than pay $4,000.
You're
I
not
mean,
entirely
speaking of
wrong.
papers, Daisy, didn't you forget your papers and actually not able to go to restaurants? Daisy.
Me, yes, correct.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Tell them
forgot
that
my
story.
vaccination card at my apartment. So when I was out on vacation, I could not enter anything. No stores. Or I entered stores, which was fine because you only have to mask up. But I couldn't enter any restaurants or anything like that. So I was stuck with my parents the entire time, which sucked.
Yeah, and then you finally found them.
Yeah, I found them in my
Yeah.
apartment.
Yeah, I mean, just when you're able to register a digital record. I'm probably gonna do that so I don't get into that situation. But you also, but what's it called? Some states do not have that, and Mister Nobody knows this.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you
it
know
is.
this too. But I don't know. It's a very tricky situation. Personally, I'm just saying. I think it's the matter of social. I mean, this is actually a good transition to Ayn Rand, but we can talk about that now. But like, it's basically the social contract. Each state, in my opinion, has their own social contract. If you know what I'm saying, like you give up certain freedoms for certain benefits, kind of. And I don't know. This is just what I think, but honestly, what's it called with the laws here? I think they're much better than the laws in states that don't have a social safety net. In that sense, like if I'm like in a crisis or something like that, I can bet on the fact that I'm not gonna go entirely without resources, unless I make very horrible decisions. Though I might be wrong. I haven't lived here for that long. I've been living here since 2019. Daisy, what do you think? You've lived here longer.
Here?
In the state.
Oh, in the state. I hate it here. I simply want to leave.
Why is that?
I grew up here my entire life, and I know there's the world out there because I've traveled nationally and internationally. So the fact that I just want to see the world more, and I know there's more offered for me.
I mean, Mr. Nobody also traveled outside of his state, and you went to California, right?
Yeah, and I found mariachi music, and then I decided never to go back.
Yeah, please, by the way, someone please report the bot in the chat. I'm gonna report the bot in the chat.
Oh.
We've got a bot in our chat.
Yes!
Oh my
Not
goodness, we're doing
poggers.
so well.
And his name is apparently is Ashton Salazar. Yeah, YouTube has been having issues with bots recently. Yes. Oh, by the way, Daisy, did you manage to run Genshin on your Chromebook?
I don't have enough storage.
You know what can fix that?
Sad.
You know what can fix
What?
that?
What can fix that?
An external hard drive.
I don't do that for a Chromebook.
You
The stinky
can.
thing.
I've done that.
I do that.
Or you can throw it into a lake and give up. That's what I do a lot of time. Every once in a while, I try to. There are old pieces of electronics that I have lying around sometimes, and every once in a while, when I'm really upset, I'll just take out a hammer and hit them. Like they're broken anyway, and it's not going to affect anything. It makes me feel good to hurt something that can't scream and get help.
And that's inanimate.
Yeah, I sure that part too.
Yes, don't forget that part. Disclaimer: we don't want to think that you're a sociopath.
That part is important too. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Usually, like, I mean, that was kind of my coping mechanism until 2015. I would say. I would just start hitting books and stuff. Like, I would just hit my textbooks. Can you imagine that?
I
Just
mean,
kick him.
that's. I mean, eventually, sometimes those authors are really boring, so I get kicking their work. But on the other hand, you probably paid like $200 for those things.
No, they were rentals.
I know, but like it. Sometimes the smallest scratch on college books they'll make you pay full price. It's kind of ridiculous.
Is the bot still spamming?
No.
Can you try doing something about the bot?
The bot is not spamming.
Okay.
He just like posted the site and that's about it.
Only posted once?
Yes. But they do come in once in a while.
Okay.
I wonder what site he posted. I want to see what quality of bot we are. We getting like adult movie bot? Are we getting like you can stream free movies here bot? Are we getting like what kind of bot are we getting?
A spam bot that's gonna infect your computer with a virus.
Yeah, I don't want to actually click it. I'm not going to click it, but part of me wonders, like, you know, what kind of bot are we getting here? Makes me feel like I'm achieved
a
more as a
Nigerian
streamer.
prince bot. I don't know. Have you ever? Has any one of you guys ever got hacked?
I hope not.
There was one time, like in the early Facebook days in 2010, when I was in my home country, my account got hacked by some bot and started spamming people with links.
Oh, I had something happen like that when I had Facebook, so I deleted it.
Your Facebook?
Yeah.
Your old Facebook or your current Facebook?
Old one.
I see. Yeah, I didn't delete my Facebook. I just reported it to Facebook. Where's my money, Facebook? You know, in Illinois, you are entitled for a $400 compensation from Facebook because they use that privacy face recognition feature that they axed because they got sued, like for using the facial recognition software on social media.
Yeah.
And that's going to start happening anyway. Like isn't China already using that stuff legally in their country?
Yes.
So yeah, that's eventually that law is going to go away because the interests of our overlords are going to squash our freedoms.
No, but that law went to, not the law, but that actually went away. The social media thing. The government, though, I think Chicago has how many cameras does it have? A lot of cameras, right?
I'm going to say
1,000.
I don't know. I don't live there and I don't care about that place at all. It doesn't affect me, so I wouldn't know.
Is the bot spamming you, Nicole? I think it might
Yeah.
be spamming her,
Okay.
but it's not spamming our channel.
No, it was not.
Yes. What else were we talking about? Yeah, but no, there's a lot of cameras and some the government law enforcement is allowed to use cameras. What's the sound?
Sound.
There was a typing sound coming from someone's Discord.
Not
Oh, yeah,
mine.
that's probably my phone. I was texting someone. I'll get off that.
I see. Yeah. Anyhow, next topic. Let's transition to. So what were you saying about objectivism, Mister Nobody?
Oh, so objectivism, for those of you who don't know, is a philosophy created by Ayn Rand. I'm not sure on the dates. Maybe you remember, Zake. Do you remember
Was it the
around
40s
what
and
time?
50s or the 30s and
Something
40s?
like that.
I don't remember
Something like that.
exactly. Think
Yeah,
about
it's
you've heard of
somewhere in
Ayn
that.
Rand though, right?
Yeah.
Or Daisy. I mean Daisy. Sorry.
Think of always like, yeah, no, my old thing. Also, new bot. Report the bot.
Where's the new bot? Very weird sites. Don't go on those sites, by the way. The first bot says Wunrand. Anyway, Ayn Rand. Go ahead. What were you gonna say about her, Mr. Nobody?
Anyway, so she created this idea of objectivism, and it was a total. She was born. I can't remember what country she was. Maybe she was born in Russia,
Yeah,
but
she
she was
was. She
born in.
was.
She was born in the USSR at the height of communism, and objectivism is basically her screed, uh, basic attacking communism and coming to a totally different conclusion than communism. So the I may not get all the basics correct, but from my understanding, some of the most basic ideas of objectivism is this idea that a person's happiness is an end in and of itself. So you don't making yourself happy should be your goal, and that's an okay goal to have. Um, and laissez-faire capitalism, and also the contention that altruism, or at least altruism as she defined it, was a great evil.
Which, in my opinion, doesn't make exact sense. I mean, exact sense, but go ahead. What else?
Yeah, the main thing is that I wanted to talk about is her idea of is her obsession with fair capitalism, and you hear a lot of people talk about this, about how capitalism at its core is essentially people being free to negotiate whatever cost they can get for a product or a good. Um, and at a certain level, that works just fine. But one of the problems is that there are always evil people. No matter what system you create, there will be evil people. Um, and the problem, and I think we're seeing some of the many problems of capitalism, is that when evil people become successful, they very quickly make the game unwinnable to a great many people. So, say you become a billionaire, or say this evil person becomes a billionaire. Maybe they even did it by following the rules. But once they reach this certain level of wealth, they decide that, I don't want anyone else, or I want way less fewer people to be able to win this game the way that I did. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I constantly accrue wealth, which I don't think was accounted for by people who uh, proposed laissez-faire capitalism as the best option. They just didn't really consider evil people as and what they would do to the system.
Yeah, but it kind of and that's the whole point where like she said altruism is evil. I think what she was saying is kind of evil.
In what way?
In what way? I'm just saying like, oh, don't be altruistic. Just be like for yourself, kind of fend for yourself and everything. And now you have people go high on those ideas, going like, oh, you don't need any utilities. You're self sufficient. If you like receive any public aid or something like that, they start what's it called shaming you just because of those. They basically take your ideas and she wasn't even. I don't think that's what she meant, but the effect of that has become like unlike anywhere in like the world. In the West, that is just like, oh yeah, we need to shame people for like getting help or like what's
Yeah.
it called, getting help from charity and stuff. Yeah, self reliance, blah blah blah. Daisy,
Yeah.
what do you think? Daisy?
I don't know much about the topic, so I'm there's not much to say. Other than it's like honestly today's like my first time hearing it. I kind of expected objectivism to be something related to objectification, but once again, philosophy always has to be wild and be bad at naming things.
Oh, also, objectivism is that's Ayn Rand's objectivism. Just so you know, there's two movements. One is relativism and one's objectivism. Objectivism, what it means in general, is like there's some unitary moral principle.
Hey, those are big words that I don't understand. Use smaller words.
The big brain words.
I don't need your $5 college words. Use words that I can understand. I dropped out for a reason.
Hey, yeah. I mean, you did well. I'm surprised that you dropped out. You were doing well, actually, compared to some other people that I knew.
Yeah, well, there were certain reasons for that. But anyway, what's a word for Unitarianism that I can actually understand?
You mean objectivism? Okay.
No, you said
objectivism. Okay, let me put this in little brain terms. Objectivism equals universal moral principle. But what that universal moral principle is, nobody knows. Maybe it's what Ayn Rand said, or maybe it's what was his face? Locke said, or whoever. Like
maybe it was what Karl Marx said.
It could be.
Although I kind of doubt it because.
Or there is just moral relativism, which is the opposite of objectivism, and that means there's no universal moral principle. Every culture has its own. And we can't say anything about that.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. Those are words that my tiny brain can understand.
Did you have your big brain moment too, Daisy?
No, I was just thinking, have you played Doki Doki Literature Club?
I have.
Okay, have you streamed it?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I could do it again. It's been 4 years actually, almost.
Because there's like new updates and stuff. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, we should stream it. I think people would watch that.
Because we're talking about some philosophy here. I'm really bad at philosophy.
Yeah, speaking of Doki Doki Literature Club, though, Monica, if you... Oh, no. I didn't mean to run the program. Please don't run. Please don't slow us down. Anyway, Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club, she was... You know what happened to her?
What happened?
In the comic, in this episode, she was actually demoted from host, who could delete characters, to a contestant because Elon Musk stole her source code.
Oh, right. Right. You did mention that.
Yeah, and now, and Sans has been hired as the Neuralink employee.
Don't know
Uh-oh.
how they're gonna put a chip in his brain. He doesn't have any flesh to cover up the chip.
Like, how can they implant a chip into Sans's brain?
He doesn't really have a brain.
Actually, that's a good idea. Hold on. Sans. The logistics of implanting this chip are literally out of this world. And Elon goes like, "We'll find a way." uh, we'll find a way. It's probably somewhere in the source code. Man, imagine like implanting a Neuralink like device into a skeleton.
I mean,
Yes, Paul. Go ahead, Daisy.
He's a skeleton. It's not gonna work, right?
Unless yes, go ahead.
if he has a brain, it'll work.
Or remnants of a brain.
Do we know that?
I mean, technically, the brain decays. So the only way a skeleton. Okay. Okay. So if a skeleton came back to life and retained its brain function and everything like that, does that mean that the brain's a phantom brain? Like it exists in some other reality? Because a skeleton cannot be sentient. It's essentially a exosuit, basically. It's like a machine that was once powered by our brain, now is retired. So the only way I would say is like he has some weird energy connected to him. And if you could channel that energy into Neuralink, I think you can connect it. But you gotta figure out how that energy works.
Well, Elon is clearly also magic. Like he contacted the old gods and got their permission to become their influence in the world. Like he clearly worships the oldest powers that conquered the earth many millennia ago. So I don't think he'll have a hard time at all manipulating whatever magic force is keeping Sans alive.
Do you remember, Daisy? What was the source that kept Sans alive? Do you remember that or no?
No.
I think it was some monster magic or whatever. But it was like I know that the energy that he was using was blue.
Was blue?
Yes, and his eyes glow.
Yeah.
Blew a blue color.
Blue, yes. He used something blue. Because Trying to remember Undertale lore. It's been a while since I last played it. So in a world of Undertale, humans have souls,
Mm-hmm.
but monsters don't. They have something else. Undertale. What are they? What are monsters made of? They're made of mostly magic.
Okay, so maybe they just color the Neuralink chip blue, and that's all the magic they need, and the Neuralink chip works now.
Maybe. That would be funny. Oh, he could be like, I figured out how to use magic. Yes?
So, yeah, never mind. They do have souls.
I have collected your soul. No, I have...
Monsters don't have organs, though. So...
I have connected the neural link to your soul.
So, that means no... Because the Papyrus says doesn't have any organs, because he's been cut diagonally across and he still lived. So
Yes.
that means Sans does not have a brain. He's made out of magic entirely.
I see. So he's
what you can do is that Sans gets the chip, but
the chip
it doesn't work on him.
Yeah, we could do that. We could definitely do that.
It's like, so it's Elon Musk who gives him the chip, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he gets the chip, thinking, I don't know what the chip's gonna do to him. Whatever Elon thinks about it, but Sans is like pretending, whatever.
Yeah, and Sans still realized that Elon is evil, so
yeah,
he can join back with Monica.
Yep.
No, he overthrew Monica in the first place. That was his whole goal from the very beginning, to overthrow Monica. But he does not. He's gonna realize that Monica is actually not as bad as Elon.
Yeah.
Have you guys? So one of my favorite things, actually, I want to show you this to you. The whole idea about Elon actually came from, and don't worry, I'm not gonna show one of his videos. But you remember a certain dude that I watched, right?
Yeah.
Meat Canyon.
Ah.
Do you know who Meat Canyon is, Mr. Nobody?
Not a clue.
Should I introduce him to Meat Canyon, or you don't want to watch a video by him, Daisy? If it makes you uncomfortable.
I don't really care. I've seen Five Nights at
Markipliers.
Markipliers.
Okay, let's see here. Canyon Pinocchio. Okay, so Mr. Nobody, I'm gonna introduce you to the world of Meat Canyon really quickly. I like his animations.
And there we go. All finished.
Do I look like a real boy, Papa?
You will one day, my little wooden boy. One day.
Hold on,
But I
Oh,
cannot
is this
wait
the
any
Pinocchio
longer,
one?
Papa.
Yes.
I must become flesh and bone.
Dear God, Pinocchio, what are you doing?
I must consume your soul to become a real boy.
Dear God, where's that fairy?
Meat Canyon
Fairy,
does have very
take away
disturbing
this puppet
animations.
boy's life. He's evil. He's nothing but pure evil. Jesus Christ, Lord have mercy on my soul. Please save me. Good Lord, where's a box of matches when I need it? Set this demon ablaze, please, God.
What do you think?
I think anyone was pretty bad.
That's pretty creepy. But you got to remember, I've seen Martyrs, I've seen Shallow, and I've seen Cannibal Holocaust. So that's not the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Hello, person. Literally, the person's in the chat's name is person. How did you get the channel name? I would like that channel name, please. Just person. Hi, I'm person. How are you doing? That channel would actually gain a lot of subscribers.
Yeah,
Okay,
having a
okay.
cool name is like half the job of getting stuff to work for
One
you.
one last one last Meat Canyon video, the most famous one that he
Meat
has.
Canyon.
One last one, and then
Oh.
you don't want it. Okay.
If you find you can, I'll just do something else. I'm already trying to look for something on my laptop, anyways.
Oh, we got another. Okay, let's not do what. Let's agree to watch stuff that we what everyone would watch. If you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna force you the content. I was just introducing Mr. No. I'll introduce Mr. Nobody to Meet Canyon off screen.
I'll watch it later.
Off screen.
Yeah.
Off screen. I'm just gonna say it in a very creepy way. Off screen.
Bot alert! Bot alert!
Okay, I think I made you a moderator, if I'm not mistaken. If not, anyway. What was I getting?
How do I do it? Do I just click report?
Hit it with a hammer.
I wish.
You could. Hold on, I'll try and do it.
I really am nostalgic for those old days when a TV wasn't working correctly, you literally could take like a piece, like some kind of mallet, and hit the TV with it until it started working again.
I remember that. I also remember like there was just like one time we went to someone's place, and my dad was watching TV, and guess what happened for the TV?
It flizzed out.
No, it stops working, and my dad hits it. It starts working again, and then it stops working, and it starts freaking smoking. Like you know those like video old Eastern European TVs, Daisy. You remember those at all?
Yeah.
It literally started smoking. Like I was just like, what? I've never seen a TV smoking.
It happens.
And there was this one time, I don't know what or how it happened. It's probably like tip the scales or something. But like, and apparently, just everyone should know, there were people, there were kids that actually died from that. So always like, make sure you. I mean, that's an old TV. New TVs are not that heavy, but still, make sure your TVs are firmly held in place. Because basically what happened was we were just sitting there just talking. It was like 2007, 2008 or something. And my dad, my mom, and everyone was talking. And then guess what happens to the TV?
Falls over?
It just falls like straight on the screen. It doesn't crack, but I'm like, how did that happen?
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. They're shitty TVs.
TVs used to be freaking heavy. Like, I remember a time when my grandparents, if you wanted a big screen TV, you had to get a monster thing that sometimes weighed like 300 pounds worth of just electronics and whatever to make the TV work and to be that big. These things were not small items. And one year, my grandpa gets a wild hair up his butt and says he wants to move the TV upstairs. And so we tried, and it was a total nightmare. But I am so glad that TVs nowadays, even when they're huge, are pretty manageable in terms of weight. Like, unless you've got a monster thing that I've never seen before, usually you only need two people, and mostly you just need the second person because the TVs are cumbersome, not really because they're so heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because they are very big now, like 50-inch, 70-inch.
Yeah, it's not.
Speaking of TVs and stuff, I have a very unique situation right now. I now have funds that I didn't have last semester due to moving out and the whole. Hey, Uncanny Vanny, how's it going? Welcome back. Yeah, so I had like a very like my roommate literally took my old roommate who lives in the same state as you, by the way. Literally took my 50-inch TV, my 30-inch TV, which I brought from Oregon, and my laptop that I gave him to him. Yes, we're writing, but also like talking about stuff. My laptop that I only gave him to borrow. That was like a $500 laptop. I mean, it was also getting old, but at the same time, I bought a new laptop. But at the same time, he didn't have the right to take it, and he also took one of my Chromebooks that I didn't allow him to take.
Can't you put him to court?
I don't want to deal with him anymore, but at the same time, it's just like it's insane. So I don't have much furniture now, and the TV that I had to buy, like, I mean, for my mom's home, I bought like a more expensive TV and stuff, but here I only have, guess how small my TV is. Here,
I mean,
it's a 19-inch TV, and it's not a smart TV. So I literally bought a Chromecast like people did in early 2010s. And that's how I watch movies on there. And it's almost nostalgic by how low quality the picture is.
yeah,
I know about you guys, but I'm honestly, what's it called? I'm honestly sometimes like when a video is of a bad quality or like it looks like it's from like the 80s or 90s, I get kind of nostalgic and I kind of enjoy the vibe it gives.
Yeah. Well, I am a studying historian, so I love old stuff. Honestly, like, there's always these new remasters of video games and stuff, but I'm like, no, I want to play my PS2, and I just like it because it's so old, and as a kid, I used to have play with games with really shitty graphics and stuff.
Yeah, well, there's some sort of nostalgia there, and that's the reason like games like Undertale exist. What were you gonna say, Mister Nobody?
I had yeah, it was mine, I think. I had a TV that was about the same size, about 19 inches, but it was a TV plus a VCR. Um, and back when VHS was still a thing, when I was DVD was starting to come out in high school, but VHS still had some market share. But anyway, I would watch movies all the way into the night on that small little VHS TV. I found a copy of Evil Dead 2 when I was like 15 on VHS, and I watched that movie over and over and over and over again. Like it was almost a nightly thing, and I really miss those days watching Evil Dead on that VCR on that VHS TV.
I have a big VHS collection in my former home country. Like it's pretty freaking big. As a kid, I just bought a lot of movies and stuff. So, and we didn't know what it was, and it was very crappy Russian dub, just so you know. But actually, that's how I learned English because the Russian dub was crappy, and I watched Courage the Cowardly Dog for the first time on VCR, and it was like,
Man, Courage
wow.
the Cowardly Dog. That's a throwback.
Yes. Daisy, did you like get experience with VHS or not much?
Of course I have.
Good.
Do you think that, honestly, people younger than me, definitely, because I'm in my early 20s, so I'm a lot younger. But I had VHS tapes. I still own a bunch. well, technically my parents do. We have a lot of the older Pokemon movies because as a kid we'd only watch Pokemon. Let's see, it's just mostly cartoons and stuff, old movies. There was like it's a movie called George of the Jungle.
Oh, I do.
And oh
Yeah,
wow,
that movie.
you remember George of the
Yes,
Jungle?
yes.
Yes, we have that. I found out there's a second movie. Let's see.
I just
I know
love
I
the
got a bunch
gorilla
of
there.
art history documentaries on the VHS. Honestly, like I don't use it as often anymore, but as a kid, I'd always use it. It always sucked to rewind it though.
I actually missed that rewind sound. Like the amount of times I fell asleep to a videotape rewinding and playing and then rewinding and then play. Like I'd wake up on the weekend to some stupid movie playing again and again, like halfway through, and I would watch it from that halfway point anyway, just because I didn't want to get out of bed.
Yes. I actually, as a kid, I sometimes I would play around with the rewind and stuff, and would break some. Sometimes I even broke our VCRs. We actually had TV with a VCR built in,
Yeah.
and its VCR broke because I was just like play. Basically, I didn't have video games, so I basically treated the VCR tapes as video games. So I was like, hey,
Right.
I just drew what's it called? When like something in the cartoon would be going like green slowly, I would stop before like it would reach the dog's paws, and it looked like the dog had like a T-shirt on, and I'm like, hey, look, I made a T-shirt on the dog. Yeah, those were very interesting days. And I'm just
apparently, when I was a
yes.
apparently when I was a really little kid, my dad came home from work and wanted to watch like something on the VCR. And apparently, I had like put a bologna sandwich or something in the VCR, and he was like, and he had to spend the entire afternoon taking apart the VCR and cleaning it out so it would work again because he didn't have the money to buy a new one.
Oh man, that sucks. And
I was
here's the feature movie, bologna sandwich.
Reminds me when I had one of those boom boxes that plays cassette tapes. I stuck candy in the cassette tape area because I thought it was a little storage container, but then it got stuck underneath the boom box.
yeah.
Oh man, I mean that's a really sweet mixtape you got there.
Can we please?
The mixtape. Yo, man. By the way, there was this like rapper that was like working at McDonald's, and he was literally like, when people would buy food through the drive-thru, he would literally like freaking drop his mixtape into the order, and he got fired for that. Like, what the heck, man? Like, imagine promoting your mixtape by just throwing it to your customers. What's it called? Order. Hey, I got a tape with my McChicken.
You know, that's not actually a half bad way to hustle, you
I
know?
mean, he got fired for that, obviously.
But I don't know why you would though. You're getting something for free. You you could the guy could just be like, could claim that it was some kind of toy for the kids.
No, she's okay. No, Ayano is still alive. Yes, but at the same time, it's just still kind of funny. Like, if
Yeah,
someone says, they ordered a McChicken, and I remember that comment. They ordered a McChicken, but instead they got the McTape. And some people were like, I hope that the meal wasn't hot, but the mixtape was. Ah. Daisy, do you think that guy should have been fired or no? Daisy?
So not me. I'm doing other things. I'm trying to look for my textbooks for my classes. Honestly, I hate everyone. Go ahead, be a jerk in your job. You'll probably get fired. This is really bad advice.
I
Don't be a
mean,
jerk.
that
But
was.
like, be a jerk. Be enough jerk that it doesn't get you fired.
I mean,
You
like
know.
back then, that was a fireable offense. Right now, with the big quit, you probably can get away with it. Well,
Yeah.
he's a good worker, but he keeps dropping the mixtape into the customers' meals.
Yeah.
Well, we have a shortage, so we cannot fire him. Yeah, we cannot.
That
You cannot
Free
fire.
mixtape.
Yeah. What were you saying?
unfortunately, like with since everything's become digital, there's a lot of things that we can't do anymore. Like you can't even. How would you convince a friend to listen? Like people used to make romantic mixtapes and stuff, and people would like that because it took hours. You had to filter out commercials, all this sort of thing. And now you just send them a YouTube playlist. Somebody else probably already made everything you wanted, so it's not nearly as romantic. So you know, there's a whole bunch of little things that we're missing out on now.
Yeah, but at the same time, oh my gosh, if someone made me a romantic mixtape, I would be like, what the heck, man? You literally spent. I mean, I appreciate the gesture, but at the same time, that's just my opinion. But creepy, you know, a little bit.
No,
Imagine a
those were a
mixtape.
big deal in the back in the day. That happened like a lot.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The romantic mixtape.
Wasn't that like on movies too, making mixtapes and stuff?
Yeah, like there were lots of movies back in the '80s that one of the like a lot of romantic comedies because of course that Drek was still being made back then. A lot of romantic comedies. There were guys throughout those movies that were like, "Man, I made my girlfriend this mixtape and she didn't even like it. And then she didn't even want to go out with me." Blah blah blah. A lot of guys were trying to make mixtapes that told their girl that they were ready to become physical, but the girl was oblivious or didn't want to respond in that way.
I see. Yeah. Well, if someone tries to make a mixtape, I mean, I think Daisy and I were talking about this. We were. Do you guys? Does anyone remember Ray William Johnson? I mean, I do, and Daisy does. Do you remember Ray William Johnson?
I
Mr.
I
Nobody.
do
remember.
not. I do not. We know who that is.
He was like in charge of Equals 3, and he said a bunch of like ridiculous stuff like back in the day, which is like could get him like canceled now, but at the same time, like 10 years ago was a different era. So the things we're saying now, imagine like 10 years later, they actually become like unacceptable.
I have no issue imagining that.
I don't know. I have no issue imagining that either, but at the same time, every year, every 10 years, everything changes. Like, so remember the stuff that was acceptable in 2002 wasn't acceptable in 2012, and now 2022 stuff that was going on in 2012 is not acceptable. In 2002 is almost at all not acceptable. In 1992 it's even worse. Like if you go like decades back, it gets worse and worse and worse in that sense. But I mean that's just like the trajectory the society is heading. Things that were acceptable one day are not acceptable anymore.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why even it's one of the reasons why I still wish I could.
What? You cut out.
It's one of the reasons why I wish I could still work construction, because guys in construction don't give two shits about any of that kind of culture war stuff.
I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, uh, I know, like, I'm getting mixed on culture wars these days. I used to be on like one side, and now I'm like more on the other side. I would say, in the sense that I'm like, you know what, uh, some things better remain just buried. Um, what do you think, Daisy?
Culture wars?
Yes.
I don't give a shit. Sorry for my profanity.
No,
No
we've been cursing all
problem.
night.
I'm the only person who's not profane here, and I was actually profane back in 2016 when I like started this channel. When the channel came to like became alive. You know, like we were playing a lot of Yandere Sim, and we were just like calling. And I'm sorry for the profanity, but we were calling Senpai's a little bitch. We were calling him like every name in the book with
Yeah.
J Victory, who and then I stopped swearing before the demonetizations because reason why like first of all YouTube doesn't demonetize you if you actually swear in the middle, just don't swear in the first 30 seconds. But
Yeah.
what I'm getting
Which
at,
is so weird.
which is really weird, yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Nobody. What were you saying?
No, I just wanted to interject that. That's it. Go ahead with what you're saying.
I just stopped because honestly, what's it called? That attracted more of an audience when I didn't swear. Plus, I think it was also my maturity level. I just didn't want to swear anymore, even though I can.
I need to stop. It's a bad habit I have. Picked it up in like middle school.
I'm. Go ahead, continue.
And as I say, I'm in my early 20s. You can assume how early in the 20s.
So, yeah, that's around the age that I started this channel. I was like around your age, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, exactly your age. And also though, I would say the fact that like here's what I say: I never actually swore in middle school or high school or at all. The reason I started swearing is because it felt liberating, honestly. And I used to have, used to be against swearing, but personally, I'm not. It's just words. But at the same time, I feel like you can get more creative than swearing, if you know what I'm saying. However, sometimes it's funny.
Definitely valid. I guess I began swearing as a form of rebellion, especially in middle school. But I would just start saying some very intense words, but then from there in high school, it just kind of calmed down to be like casually thrown.
Yes.
And I still have it in college, but I do stop myself from swearing in front of different peers and stuff.
Yes. I mean, it's.
I probably say the F word a lot
Same.
out of all swears.
I can say it occasionally, but for some reason, like when I stream, I say freaking, but like when I talk to people, I say the F word. Fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Nobody, a comment for that?
Yeah, I pretty much talk. I've learned where to curse and where not to. As far as I'm concerned, the internet's a safe place to curse. I mean,
He's playing.
honestly,
He's playing
go ahead.
4D. He's playing 4D chess. Yes,
Yeah,
go ahead.
as far as I'm concerned, it's the best place to curse. Because you know you can be totally anonymous, and it's possible that you don't hurt anybody with your word, because most people don't take anything on the internet serious. So the people that do are kind of searching to be hurt. But
Unless they get cyberbullied. I've been cyberbullied. It sucked.
Yeah.
there's a difference between being cyberbullied and searching out offense. clearly there's a difference there. But
Searching out offense would be like, oh, you said searching out offense? I'm offended. That would be one thing. Versus like, what's it called? Actual people telling you like, what's it called? Oh, don't come to school. We don't want you. Do the non-alive thing. You know?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being bullied and flipping out over just straight up banter.
Man.
Now everybody has their tolerance for banter. Mine's pretty high. Like in person, like there are words I'm not going to use on this stream or any stream, not because I have a problem with them, but because I really don't want to deal with being demonetized or anything of that nature. Like the R slur, I have no problem with that, with being called that and using that. The F slur, the same. It just depends on the situation and the people I'm talking to.
Yeah, it's that me. I'm sorry, that's kind of hilarious, but what was that meme I sent you? Daisy, do you remember? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put the. I don't think you like my real self. Let me use. I'm just joking, by the way, Mr. Nobody. Let me pull out the personality that I made especially for you.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
That was a good meme.
I mean, that's pretty much what everybody does to some point, to some extent. When the internet was younger, you could pretty much get away with anything. And to a large degree, you still can.
Not as much.
Not as much.
And I used to think that's a bad thing, but honestly, in retrospect, the place has actually become less toxic than it used to be. Though some things are ridiculous right now. Like the internet used to be extremely like you can. Do you remember that, guys? Like everyone, do you guys remember when like every YouTube video you watched, they just swore nonstop?
Yeah.
Like nonstop. I mean, like that's fine, but everyone was just trying to be as edgy as possible, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
It's just I miss all the freedom of some of the older sites. If we could go back to the older sites with the same amount of technology that we have, so that they're still as good as they are now, technologically speaking.
Back in the good old days.
But also not necessarily full of the toxicity. I mean, again, I can handle it in most cases. Like if somebody riffs on me and calls me a mean name on the internet, in general, I just don't pay attention. But there are people that, 4chan has convinced people to unalive themselves.
4chan is a cesspool.
Yeah, so there are vicious sites full of vicious people who, for the sheer fun of messing with you, will try to ruin your life for no other reason than you said something silly or stupid.
There's 4chan, and I'm sorry to say this, but anyone that's on Twitter, I'm sorry to say this, but Twitter is basically a different breed of 4chan at this point.
Really? Because you don't really have the same content or the same kind of people. Yeah, you do have a lot of harassment and toxicity on Twitter, but like they're not going to be to the point where they're actually going to like tell you to go hurt yourself.
They used to be.
I guess they do have doxing, which is really bad, but it's different.
They go like, "I'm a dox you now."
I mean, it kind of depends on who you are, side you stand on a certain issue.
Yeah.
I mean, there are leftists on Twitter that get all sorts of death threats, and there are people on the right on Twitter that get all sorts of death threats. And people in the middle get all sorts of death threats, and people who say that like hot dogs are sandwiches, and now they get death threats or something. You can get people on the internet will attack you for any little thing. It doesn't even have to be important. It doesn't even have to seem to make sense. It just you just have to show the slightest chink in the armor, and they're gonna attack it
I mean,
until
that's
you
basically
break.
was the floor that you lived on in college. Like, it was the embodiment of Twitter. I'm not even kidding.
So I didn't pay attention to much of that, so that's probably
No, but you
that's what it
remember,
was.
like, I'm new to this country. I mean, it's not like again, you were actually one of the very nice people there to me and everything. Like, you might not think that, but you were like, what's it called, very interesting person. You were like one of the cooler people there. But I remember they literally, like, the whole floor had like a meeting about me. But I was getting like tackled on my floor because, like, and I had a secret future up there. Now I was also a little shit, but at the same time, I was kind of getting refuge from football players tackling me on these guys' floor.
Uh,
You don't.
yeah, that's one of the downsides of college. You end up living with a whole bunch of people that might be shitheads.
Yeah, but dude, like, that was absolutely ridiculous, though. Can you imagine like a whole floor meeting concerning like Zake? It's literally like that one episode in Camp Laszlo when they were like, "Hey, this is the No Laszlo Club," and by the way, Zake, you cannot attend this meeting even if it's about you. It's behind closed doors. I'm like, okay.
Pretty messed up.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, I'm looking back at it, I mean, like, if that happened in this college, I feel like those people would be in deep trouble, like, for doing that.
Yeah, it's people are weird.
Yes. I mean, now I just find it funny. It's just like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, what the heck?
Yep. College was weird. Hey, I'm meeting my sister tomorrow, so I gotta duck out if that's okay. I hope I'm not ruining anything.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you want to do, Daisy? Do you just want to continue tomorrow?
Oh, I feel like you can still continue if you like.
You can still continue now?
Yeah, I have nothing better to do.
Sure. We can talk about topics and stuff. All right, Mr. Nobody is gonna leave the chat soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and duck out. So, hey, thank you guys for hanging out with me and talking to me again. Nice to meet you, Daisy.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Nobody.
Yeah. Hope I wasn't too annoying. I tend to have that effect on people. Have a good night, you internet degenerates.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.
You internet degenerates. All right. So, in this segment, you know what we should do, Daisy?
Yeah.
Are you down to reading creepy PMs?
If you want to, sure.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't care.
Are you positive?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Now that's so. Reddit.
Alright, let me make the stream bigger on my laptop.
And I might make this into a separate video, if anything. So, just to what's it called? Just to make people watch. Okay, so it's called Creepy PMs.
Bot alert. Bot alert. I got it. Report.
Bot.
block.
Okay, so I'm on Reddit. Reddit is also accessible, and this says another day, another creep. Let's read this. Ahem. Hey, are you interested in a relationship?
No.
I do very well for myself. Take care.
If you do very well for yourself, why are you trolling Reddit for a girlfriend?
Very well financially only.
Good. You should buy yourself a plastic girlfriend from the sex shop then.
Sex toys are illegal where I live. What the heck?
That's like the Rock meme, you know. You gotta answer that. He's like, fine, boom.
Wait, is there another slide to this? Thought porn was illegal where you are, lol. Sex toys not porn. Focus. Oh, so not only a perv, but a rude perv. Ah, come on. What?
This kind of seems fake, though.
Yeah, that seems kind of fake. Almost.
And it kind of sus, bro.
Sus. Oop. Go back, go back.
What are you doing?
It for some reason went on Google. Okay. Let's go back to Creepy PMs. Let's see what else is there. I know, it got a lot of upvotes, so... Why is it...
Not really fake, because the conversation was just so static.
Ooh, this one. I get a ton of PMs because of my profile. May not be creepy, but definitely can't take a hint. I need a picture. Okay. I need a picture first. You can continue if you want.
Laugh out loud.
What the heck?
Wait out, see the full image. There you go. You'll be waiting a while, bud.
Why don't you have a camera?
I receive photos first, never send first.
It's just hard to believe that you are a woman and not a scam. Not many women online are DTF. Okay, next one. See full image. Okay, it's some neckbeard. Look at the card.
But like...
Look at the card though. Hold on. Like, does this guy have a family or something?
It looks like a fancy muscle car or something.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, come on, man. Shave your beard if it looks like that. Sorry for the repeat pictures. They were not loading it. How about your picture now?
Sorry, not interested.
Okay, thanks. Oh yeah, by the way, the car I'm driving in my picture is about $200,000. Bruh!
It's a fancy muscle car, but it's probably not the right price anyways.
I don't think that's the actual price.
Yeah, he's
Because
just flagging
I know
his
somebody
money.
who bought a muscle car, and that thing only costs like $4,000 down.
Yeah.
They still owe me $1,000. Anyway, yeah.
Congratulations, I've got my own money.
Yeah, right. Haha.
Oof. Oof.
What the heck, man? Like, who is this? Who does this dude think he is? Top post this week. So, Wild Ride. Oh no. Do you see this, Daisy?
Hey, it's blank. You've blocked several of my accounts. I don't know. I miss you. I'm maturing. I got a real job. I don't drink anymore. Accept message request from blank.
Who is, like, who? Oh, there's a continuation. Oh no, there's a sequel.
There's a sequel. I
I
don't smoke cigs. I'm a pretty special guy. I know my self-worth. I know I'm awesome, and it says I'm awesome and a good person to be around. And I'm saying you could use me in your life if you allow it. I miss you, your mind, how you think, how you make me think. Now, lol. I might want to sex. Oh. So keep your distance, and I don't know why I said that.
Damn. Okay, that guy needs to be in prison. I'm sorry, but oh, there's a continuation of this. Let me continue. I'll read it. I don't know why I said that. I pretend to be this hornball. I'm pretty plateaued these days, and I rarely think about yeah, right, buddy. I usually try to find little ways to make myself laugh and stress about work. Anyways, it's a new year pretty soon, and I expect great things from myself. And I don't know how your life's going. If you're okay, still alive, no issues. LOL, I feel like a pimp. Yo ho, is that... What the heck?
There's more. There's more.
Still bounce.
Okay. I got to go. Lay in bed silent and resist myself. That's so boring, though. Yeah. My name with a bunch of A's, last name. I listen to Shakira now. She makes a man want to speak Spanish. I left all my friends. I'm just gonna hide here.
She makes a man want to speak Spanish? What the... Okay, I'm gonna swear. What the fuck?
She makes a man want to speak Spanish, and then I left all my friends.
I think that was the other way around. I think all your friends... I think all his friends left him. But
okay, but for real, who listens to Shakira and try to text a girl?
Also, I'm almost like... this almost sounds sus.
Who even listens to Shakira anymore? There's 8. There's 8 screenshots, yo. What?
The screenshot number 5. I'm gonna continue. I'm just gonna hide here inside you. I feel safe here. Everyone is trying to fight me, bite me, and use me. My mind can take it. Overload. It's acquired now, though. I think I ditched them. I like this is like a rap, man. You know, only these rap lyrics should be used in court. What do you think?
So bring him to trial.
Yes, I like saying your name, even if through text. I've been submerged so much male testosterone and dickering. I can't take it too much. Okay, I can't take it too much. Too much, everyone. They're all too much. I gotta hide here inside you. Do you get that? You're my favorite hiding spot. Anyways, name. I like you. Good night. Can't fuck up my sleep schedule. I got to work Friday, but tomorrow is a busy day too. So, there's one thing I actually should have talked this to Mr. Nobody about, but again, you know what I feel like is happening here?
Yeah.
This all comes back to my theory of narrative. Like, she doesn't reply to him, but he still in his head believes that he's talking to her. Like, he's living in some fantasy land. But tomorrow's a big... Okay, you can continue this.
But tomorrow is a busy day, too. I can't tell you what I'm doing, though. It's a secret. Well, not really a secret. Anyways, peace out, homie. Stay cool. I love you. I love you. Hope you know that. Oh.
What the heck? And finally, the last text.
Oh, you already knew that you would say good. I'm just gonna say it one more time. I love you. Like, what the fuck?
Good night. I'm crazy.
Good night.
I'm crazy. Sorry for bothering you.
I'm crazy. Go stupid. Go crazy. Go stupid.
This is someone that, honestly, if this guy is pushed enough, he'll probably kill you. That's how bad
Opie is unhinged.
Someone said, let's see what people are saying. It's so crazy. I'm a good person to be around, and I might want to essay in the same thread of messages. Meet nice guys. Who else is there? Hold on. Oh,
Worst poem ever.
It didn't even rhyme. Sorry. Mom spaghetti. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible, man. Literally my first day on Reddit. I'll follow this post some free karma for you. Thank you. You're welcome, sweetie. New to Reddit? Hold on. Yeah, Lo, my friend told me to get it. I'm glad you did. If you look anything like your avatar, you're really cute. Thanks. Must look amazing. Oh, no.
Bro, I'm 15. My favorite line, bro, I'm 15.
Man, like, why do guys think this is appealing? Like, how do
I
you
don't
think
know.
that's... Why do I get the stuff in my DMs? Okay.
This is a kink.
Yeah, but at the same time...
Or a fetish, I mean.
Yes. I think that comes from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate. He shouldn't be... Anyway, he shouldn't be allowed to use his imagination.
It should be illegal for him to have an imagination law. That's the thought of police in 1984. This is literally 1984.
The classic, the stuff in 1984, the government controls everything and you should never have a different opinion. They made the only legal language a simplified one by getting rid of all the words that could make you begin to think of different views than the government allows. He should be banned. Oh, yes! My thoughts exactly. He should be banned from watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Yes. So, let me put in my German voice. Yeah. Let us analyze this creep. So there is this thing called imprinting, yeah? In psychology. By the way, I'm just joking. In psychology, yeah? Yes? There's this thing called imprinting in psychology. By watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, he got very messed up, and that is what is happening here. Oh, man.
I'm shaking my head.
Yeah, I'll shake it with you. Oh, man. No, seriously, the stuff that can imprint, like, on you during childhood is wild. It's absolutely wild. Like, you might not know this, but it might, like, what's it called, come back to, like, haunt you, like, one day. Ooh, classic. Let's see what that is. You wanna see my thing? Not really. That's what the ugly B words say. LOL. Actually, no. What? What kind of delusions? Okay. Oh, okay. I'm in bed bored. I'm probably gonna practice guitar soon. Cool. How old are you? 17? Why do you ask? I'm 19. Just wondering. Your other posts say you're 25. What's that about? Predator. That guy is a predator. FBI, open up. Oh, there's a second post. Hold on. Oh, I meant to put 25, not 19. Sorry. You know, she should change the chat theme to FBI, open up.
FBI, open up.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of the whole James Charles situation. like James Charles like ended up being a predator. You've heard about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I've never watched his content, but at the same time,
I just don't bother with them YouTubers.
except for Markiplier. You still like Markiplier, don't you, Squidward? Do you still?
Do I still watch Markiplier?
Yes.
Once in a while.
Yeah, I sometimes watch him, but I feel like he's getting his way of like doing things is getting pretty old, you know.
Yeah. I don't really watch too much YouTube anymore. I'm like, I can just do this myself.
Yes. Hold on. Ooh. Oh my bad. Do you know the makeup brand Justin? No. Oh gosh, no. Oh yeah, he's just replying to them as no, no, no,
Yeah.
and he just like leaves the person alone. Nope. Are you like a bot or nope? Just against creeps. I'm also a huge fan of strictly replying with gifs. You know, by the way, so how many you get a lot of creepy DMs yourself, right, Daisy?
Not anymore. I
You,
might once I start streaming more often.
I've been getting so let me tell you the story and the tomorrow let's continue like let's stream a game tomorrow. I'm thinking of like streaming. What game do you want to stream tomorrow, by the way? I'm thinking of like Skyrim still, but if you want to do something else, like
I
Doki
don't
Doki, we
mind,
can.
honestly. Your pick. If you want to do Skyrim, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a very interesting mod I'm playing right now that I think you'll like too. Let's do that. However, so before I end this stream, I want to tell a story. So we were looking for a place right here in Urbana for my mom when she was trying to move out of our place because my roommate wasn't being like cordial with her. I mean, he was I mean, my mom's a difficult person to deal with, but my roommate was also a jerk to her, to a degree. Anyway, when we were looking for a place, right, we come up to this house and there was like a bunch of people living there. There were women, men, all of them living together in one room, right?
Yeah.
So one of the men, I got his number because I was like looking into the getting like a room for my mom for $400 in that place, and the room had some bathroom and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But apparently, so a year passes by. Mom decides to move to Chicago, just get her buy stuff there and everything. So 1 year passes. This guy just messages me on Telegram for no freaking reason, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just got out of prison, blah blah blah," and he just starts like, "How do you look like? I would like to meet you." And I'm just like, "What?" "I would like to take you out for a coffee." I mean, he never said anything creepy, but at the same time, I'm just like, it's the feeling. I mean, I didn't really understand how distressed people are by these DMs, and I mean that's the reason I don't exactly agree with Mr. Nobody's viewpoint on that there's things on the internet words cannot affect you, because that affected me. That messed me up. So I had to lie to the guy that I don't live in Champaign Urbana anymore and I live in somewhere else because he was a creep. He was a creep, man. Like, imagine.
Yeah. It's like, yo, I'm out of prison. Anyways, you want to go on a date?
Yeah. First of all, I mean, you be you, and don't judge it there. I don't judge you for having your sexual orientation and stuff and everything like that. I mean, back in the day when I was like first, like it came from my home country, if someone like propositioned me like that, I would get mad. But you know what I realized? I realized that people do not really really can't tell if the person is straight or not. I mean, I'm straight, but I'm not gonna get mad. I'm gonna be like, thank you for the compliment, but I'm straight. Find someone else. But at the same time, it's just like you can be whatever sexual orientation you want to be. Just don't be a creep. Come on, man.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. And plus, a lot of sexuality is based off of stereotypes and tropes that it's difficult. And because people have certain like characteristics that people are gonna assume they're a different sexuality. Like for example, my oldest brother, a lot of people think he's actually bisexual, but he's really straight. I don't know, maybe he is.
Why do they think that he's if I ask a question? Why do they think that he's bisexual? You don't have to reveal that.
Maybe not on the stream.
Okay, later.
Yeah, you can ask me later.
Yes.
The thing is, too, people will assume, and regardless of what orientation you are, it's just the fact that, like, people will be a creep, regardless what gender or what sexuality they identify with.
Yeah, I think that should be, like, a next topic on the stream. I mean, we've discussed polyamory and all that stuff. We should just have a big general discussion about sexuality.
Okay, bro, you should also be writing your Fandom Island script, bro.
Yes. Well, I mean, I said this was going to be a reaction stream as well.
That is true.
Yeah. No, tomorrow's stream, since it's not going to be a podcast, tomorrow's going to be a strictly gaming stream, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, but surprisingly, people tune into these podcast streams a lot.
Yeah, because they're fascinating. You get to learn new facets of information. Plus, we're critically thinking about information received and looking stuff up. At first, I sounded very dumb and clueless, but then I actually had to start looking up stuff. I'm like, I understand it now.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fun. So, I think that's enough for today with streaming. Thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe. And if you have any stuff to say about Fandom Island, please let me know in the chat. Add stuff.